How are we gonna solve the problem? White people fear black extremism. FBI spying on BLM, infiltrating. Talking about Jesus. They know us better than we know ourselves. We don't know the big picture. We know the Bible and rap lyrics and TikTok dances. We don't understand reality. Watching fake TV shows. Don't understand reality. $50,000 ago, cognitive modernity. 50,000 years ago, obsessions and focus. Read, take notes. Tens of thousands of years before agriculture. We don't know our history. We don't know what our ancestors accomplished. Domestication. Edible species. We don't know our history. We know the Bible. We know the fruit. But we don't know the root of white supremacy. We don't know our history. We want to be Jews more than we want to be indigenous. We value Jews more than indigenous. We believe in these lies. Gotta look at history. All over the world. From religious reasoning. Accept social constructions as if they were conditions of nature. Reinforcing them over time. Because we bought in. Sold out. Fifi, go get the line. Meanwhile, y'all go to church every Sunday. And praise him. Egalitarian lines. 10,000 years ago, Europe used to be black. 4,000 years ago, Europe was black. Until the invaders got there, spread by plague, and they murdered them, genocided them. That's the spread of agriculture. 10,000 years before the Common Era, that's 12,000 years ago. Those weren't white people. Those are the Natufian, the indigenous, what they want to call Arabs, or the Arabs are what's left of the Natufians. As you see, they're trying to bomb them to death. They are successfully bombing them to death. Proto-Indo-European warfare was institutionalized war bands, Yersinia pestis plague, mobility, larger networks of alliance, religion, poetry, feasting, probably burning the whole town down, burn the cows, burn people, and eat them. Riding on horseback, killing the indigenous. 5,000 years. Creation, 4,000 years ago. I'm sorry, 4,000 years before Christ, before the Common Era. 6,000 years ago. Yep. They say a flood 7,000 years ago might have made it a little tougher in this area here. People might have had to change the way they were living. Origin and spread of the earliest plague. What did they say? Ukraine. What do you know? Where did Noah's Ark land? Mount Ararat. What do you know? Right here, Mount Ararat. Between the Black and the Caspian Sea, Mount Ararat. Yep. And they say Jesus had to be black. Noah's Ark landed in Mount Ararat. God flooded the whole rest of the world and saved some Caucasian people. They spread around the world, started killing people. Around 5,000 years ago, Indo-European migration, homeland, biblical point of view, Indo-Europeans. These were the indigenous people. Getting wiped out. These were the indigenous people. All this happened before the plague. Every single thing on here happened before the plague spread. This is 4,000 BCE, 6,000 years ago. So they were reached, indigenous people had reached, the indigenous farmers, Natufians, had expanded over 4,000 years, the southern route, and then had reached, after 5,000 years, almost 6,000 years, had reached up to the north. That's when plague spread from over here. British Neolithic transition to farming, 4,000 BCE, 6,000 years ago. Black Europeans, indigenous Europeans. Mount Ararat, 5,700 years ago, just 3,700 BCE. Let's look at the timeline. 3,700 BCE. There you go. Creation and the flood. They say creation was 4,000. Mount Ararat. But we just know Jesus was black. 5,000 years after, plague spread from here and made it into Egypt. We just know Jesus was black. Jesus was born right here. Caucasus right here. Jesus. Caucasus. Jesus. Look at that. Into Africa. Coming down here. Out of the steppe, we are Russians. He's talking to a room full of white people, telling them they are Russians. We are Russians. Both Persian and Jewish histories had to intersect, and they did. Where could that be? Where could they intersect? Persian, Iran, Aryan. Jews and the Aryan are the same people. The Jews were the Aryans who went into Egypt, ruled for 100 years, then got kicked out. The ones that stayed, similar to South Africans today, ended up so-called, supposedly, becoming slaves, playing the victim. I guess they forgot they came from invaders. And so, they want us to believe that they have a similar history as African Americans because they supposedly started as slaves. But they didn't come to America as slaves. They got us in that headlock, believing we're the real Hebrews, believing we're the real Jews, tracing our lineage back to the Caucasus Mountains, like some lapdogs. Persian, Iranian Empire, Aryan Empire. How would they have been able to form alliances over all this land? What laid the foundation for them to be able to form alliances across this land here? Was it Noah and his ark that landed on Ararat? Was it Noah and his ark? Or did plague land in Ararat? Alright, and the first terrorist, rapist, thug, refugees, alright, spread from Ukraine. Mount Ararat, Noah, Oriental Institute. Plants a vineyard, gets drunk, and blames his son when he fell asleep naked with his butt out. What sense does that make? Homeland, Indo-Europeans, Hittites. Five 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago. There you have it right there. Just like America. They said the plague started in Africa. According to Jewish tradition, the plague started in Africa. Nope. There you go. Takarian, Indian and Iranian, Anatolian, Armenian, Hellenic, around 2000 to 1500 BCE. That's 4000 to 3500 years ago. Albanian, that's Eastern European, Southeastern. Italic, Southern European, South Central. Germanic, Slavic, Baltic. Indigenous Europeans got there 45,000 years ago. 45,000 years ago. Yep, that's how they spread. Couldn't have been easy being a white guy in the Middle East, huh? That's where they're from. North of the Middle East, the Caucasus Mountains. God told Abraham, or plague told Abraham. What a coincidence. Yeah, that's that Hebrew headlock right there. From Europe to East Africa, 5,000 to 10,000 years ago. Khoisan been mixing with Europeans. There you go. Anatolia, Turkey, Hittite Empire. That's it right there. Iran, Syria, Egypt. Yes, sir, they conquered Egypt. Hittites. Homeland spread through Anatolia. And we know they got down into Egypt. Not depicted here, of course. Why would he? Anatolia, Turkey, extent of Hittite Empire. Pastor won't tell you this. Pastor won't go home and make a timeline. Nope. Mount Ararat. Pastor won't explain that to you. I'll tell you about Jacob and Isaac, Abraham, Noah, but he won't explain that to you. He won't explain that to you. That Hebrew headlock. Greasing up that Hebrew headlock for you. Oh, poor guy had to go live in the land of Egypt. Must have been a magician. I need to take a trip. What trope? Anti-Semitism? Is that what that trope is? 15th century BCE. 15th century BCE. BC. How did they become slaves? They descended from conquerors like South Africans or like American colonizers and somehow became slaves. Forgot that they descended from colonizers. Homeland is Mount Ararat. Israel should be in Ukraine. The indigenous descend from Natufian. Natufian ended up getting genocided. The Natufian had spread all through Europe just to get genocided by people running from plague. Around 5,700 years ago, plague spread from Ukraine, led to the decimation of indigenous Europe, black and brown Europe, also spread into Africa, made its way into Asia. We think Jesus died for our sins, and Jesus descends from invaders. That's that Hebrew headlock. Oh, look at that. Nation of slaves becomes the Jewish people. Return to the Holy Land of their ancestors. See now, they stopped here. Should have kept on going up to. You got it. Homeland. Or Heimat. Posited homeland. Mount Ararat. I'm not anti-Semitic. Throw Japheth in there too. Throw him in there as well. I'm anti-Noahic. And y'all don't know shit. It's that Hebrew headlock. 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years ago. 4,000 BCE. Flood, or the plague, spread them. They claimed they were slaves. They descend from conquerors. Plague, conquerors, Hittites. Europe used to be black. People of the book, the Lion Book, Book of Lies, written by Moses. Didn't know he descended from invaders. Conquerors have many sons. Oh yeah, and they're bombing Gaza, so Palestine, Philistine. If you go back far enough, alright, you get to the point where it was black and brown, and you had white people coming in. Alright, inspired by plague, not God. They conquered them and they kept it moving, alright? They blazed a hole right through them. Made it to Egypt. Ruled for 100 years in Egypt, then got kicked out. And they thought their homeland was Palestine, but it wasn't. It was Ukraine. Let's keep it moving. Yep. Look at that. Ancient Levantines, about 4,000 years ago, about the same time that they met the sword of the Indo-European horde. And this is the Palestinians now. Not the Jews, the Palestinians now. Some of them sold out, but this is the Palestinians. You can see the remnants of invasion by plague, spreading terrorist rapists. Armenian DNA project. Armenians and Kurdish Jews. We're not Jews, they're Jews. Before they started spreading out, R1, R1, R, R1B, R1A, R2. Okay. Assyrians, Jews, Turks, Azerbaijan. Assyrians, Armenians. Initially, same people. Different religious groups. Judaism, Christianity, Islam. All the same people from Noah, running from plague. Book of Lies. 3,000 years ago. Went to the wrong homeland. Invaded the wrong house. Like that cop that went to the wrong house and shot that man. And here we are with European genetics. Happy captives. Happy captives. Doesn't go back to Africa. Germany, in fact. We believe we're the real Hebrews. We think Nipsey was Jesus. How'd I get down there? Go back. Deep pocket in Africa. R1B. 5,000, 10,000 years ago. Europeans into East Africa. 5,000 years, plague. 5,700 years ago, plague started spreading from Ukraine. People on horseback coming through here, coming down here, going that way. Solomon's wife, not Solomon. Y'all don't know how to read. Of the Africans, no sir. It's the wrong answer. But we love to read that. R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle, right? Black capitalism. We love it. Jesus could not have been a white man. There's no way. There's no way he could have been a white man. All the slaves that got crucified before Jesus, there's no way Jesus could have been a white man. A Jew. No way a Jew could have been a white man. No way they could have invaded Egypt. Invaded Egypt, got kicked out, and Jesus been a white man. It's not possible. That man's an African right there. Yep. Jesus walks. Kanye talks. KRS lost. German propaganda making fun of us. Got the game sold up. Out here making videos, trying to get that money, marrying Jews, having babies with Jews, going crazy over Jews. Still don't got the answers. So for me, true and good. Notice how the video almost fades out before he can finish his sentence. They tried to fade him out. He's telling the truth. Whoa, whoa, whoa there, Jew. What do you know? Washington and Hollywood. Like Suriname. Like the pirate Jews. Don't be anti-Semitic now. I'm anti-Noahic. He's a Jew and an atheist. So they kill us for not believing their delusions, and then they jump out of the delusion and say, alright, I don't want to believe that anymore. And we're the ones stuck with it. Happy captive lapdogs. I'm not even going to explain that. If you get it, you get it. Like I said, he's an atheist. So he don't feel no restriction for speaking out. No connection to the country. Guys are getting blown to shreds. No connection. He's all good in America. New piece of stolen land. New slab of stolen meat. Kanye's a dumbass. No doubt about it. Self-deprecating culture. 30 million followers. I wonder how many indigenous people died because they didn't believe them delusions. That's a Jewish, that's a Hebrew headlock there on his head. That's not a fitted cap. That's a Hebrew headlock. And he's got a Hebrew chain around his neck. Hebrew tassel. And here we go. Solidarity. What kind of bullshit is this? Trying to convince us that we have the same narrative. They came from invaders. They came over to America as invaders. We didn't come over as invaders. They came into Egypt as invaders. We were indigenous to Africa. 5,000 years ago. Black Hebrew Israelite groups. They lost. That's that Hebrew headlock. But they don't want to talk about history. Real history. They want us to believe this right here. They want that. They want to be able to make fun of us. Black identity extremism was set up Noble Drew Ali. And it didn't start with him. There was the Freemason Prince Hall. He was in a headlock as well. Y'all gonna see colonization that only fits us. Show me the Holocaust in the Bible. It's the Hebrew headlock. Both of them lost. Really left a mark. That clock around your neck. Don't know what time it is. They never made a timeline. It's genius. You know what the truth is. You know who the real Jews are. No, sir. Imaginary stories. Israelite. Solution. Bomb them. Destroy history. Bomb their history books. Democracies can have different ethnic groups. Ukraine could have different ethnic groups. You can make a democracy in Ukraine and have all your different democratic ideas enacted in Ukraine. The Bible is a lie. 1,500 years before the birth of Christ. Let's take a look. 1,500 years before the birth of Christ. Let's take a look. So we have 5,000 years ago, 3,000 years before the birth of Christ. Mount Ararat, spreading plague. We have flood happening before that. Alright, 6,000 years ago, Indo-European languages. 1,500 years before Christ. Somehow Moses ended up as a slave in Egypt. But they don't tell us how he got there. They lie about how he got there. Mount Ararat, conquerors spread plague. Alright. Actually, the displacement of Jews from their homeland. Wait a minute now. After the Arabs conquered the land, the 7th century AD, he doesn't even want to go back. He dipped his toes into BCE and then said, whoop, let me get back over here. Yeah, right. You are not the original natives. Y'all are from Ukraine. 2,000 years, actually less. Yeah, right. Native owners of the land, no sir. Oldest hatreds in history. They don't want to talk about how old racism is, though. Abraham Accords. That's just to bomb Gaza. That's right. Nazism and Zionism are two sides of the same coin. They want the Holy Land, but they also want that new piece of stolen land called America. Want to have both. Want to have both. Cake and eat it too. Jewish pirates. They had slaves on them boats, making slaves of Native Americans and calling them Negroes. I have to go back and pause that. Jewish descent. Jewish ancestry all over. Jews was raping everybody. Oh, let's pause it here. 8 stages of white settler colonial denial. Alright, this is rooted in delusion, rooted in religion. So, number 1, they didn't exist. Number 2, if they did, they weren't here. Number 3, if they were, they didn't use the land. Number 4, if they did, they didn't deserve it. Number 5, if they did, they lost it. Number 6, if they didn't, it doesn't matter anymore. Number 7, if it does, we need to move on. Y'all love that one. Number 8, if we can't, we are you. Oh, that's deep. That's deep, as Cornel West would say. Let me go back. So, Native Americans were quite commonly called Negroes, is very much supported by Portuguese usage. I'll let y'all pause that and read. Due to epidemics. The Great Jew. Pirate. Moses Cohen Henriquez. Early. Look at him. driving them slaves, bucking them slaves. West India Company. So Epstein wasn't the first one. Alright, let's get that clear. Baal Teshuva, pirate. Rabbi Isaac Luria. Read about him, look him up. Pirate rabbi, early. Made his way to the land of Israel. Probably trading slaves, taking Native Americans back. Thrilling, vengeance, self-determination, pulling themselves up by their bootstraps. Sailing across the world on their bootstraps. Jesus walking on water like a Jew. Civil War. Anti-Jewish. Barbados, Jamaica, Suriname, Amsterdam. Sexual relationships with young girls like Epstein. Articulate concubinage. And the wills. Bequeathing slaves. Yep. Barbados, Jamaica, Suriname, Amsterdam, Kingston, Spanish Town. Jamaica, bigger than all North America. Caste system. That's that headlock I was talking about. Following their footsteps. You got headlock Hebrews like this one here. Today. No, yeah, played a victim. Probably don't know. Never made a timeline. Knows nothing about history. Here you go. Gullah Geechee, South Carolina. North Carolina used to be South Carolina too. Used to be the same. Virginia used to be Kentucky. I think Georgia used to be South Carolina. Purple, orange. Alright, so look at West Virginia. Alright, African ancestry, very low. West Virginia, Kentucky, very low. Very low. Look at European ancestry. West Virginia, very high. Kentucky, pretty high. Louisiana, pretty high. North Carolina, pretty high. Virginia, pretty high. It's a lot of mixing. Pretty high. It's a lot of mixing. When they was marching them across, they was raping them and shit. You better believe it. Powell. Absalom Powell, something like that. I'm not gonna get there though. Moving on. West Virginia, European ancestry is pretty high. That's that Randy Moss. That's Gates, 1790. Charleston, alright, Port of Charleston, South Carolina. And then up in here around DC. I think it kept going in DC even after it was somehow even after the war. Hardin County, Kentucky. 1,466 slaves in 1820. 1840. Putnam County, Georgia. 6,000 slaves. Total free was about 4,000. 1840. 1860, Sumter, South Carolina. Total free, 7,000. Total slaves, 16,682. Sumter, South Carolina. Kentucky. Of that commodity chain in a cave in Kentucky to get more proceeds. Doing the same thing. It has doing the same thing here as they did here and in Kentucky. That looks like Charleston, South Carolina, Virginia. That might be a little more north, but supposed to be around Kentucky. Saltpeter. What they use that for? Guns? Where'd that culture come from? Goes back to the parts of Britain where the white Southerners came from. They didn't have that culture that we got. We got cracker culture. Act just like them. Free land, kill some natives. Used to be Virginia, broke it off. Samuel Haycraft. Land. Had nothing to do with religious freedom. Freedom to kill Native Americans and take stolen land and money. Profit. Samuel Haycraft. Lincoln thought he was going to get hung if he went to Kentucky, if he went to Hardin County. He grew up around there. He didn't want to come back. Sheriff. Samuel Haycraft. Haycraft Inn. People getting married out there. Haycraft Inn. Used to bring slaves through there. Probably had them sleeping with the livestock. Nelson County. Severance Valley. Killing Native Americans and selling land. Making money, getting rich. Probably moved up north with it. Elizabethtown. Early. Bryans and the Lincolns. Nancy Bryan. They bred mulatto thoroughbreds, women, sold them for sex slavery in Louisiana, stuff like that. Jamaica selling children, pedophiles raping children. Pirates, Jewish pirates now, don't forget. Might be Maori's ancestor. Current leaders whose ancestors owned slaves. That's Obama up there. Look closely, pause that one. Caribbean islands, Suriname. Brutal, awful. Wanted us to be happy captives. Children of rape. Going to see a Hamilton movie. No, sir. He was a Jew. Talking about Hamilton was black. More Jewish than any other founding father. It's a lie. Yep. Props to this man. Pause that one. Check that out. Anno 5723. That was in 1723 or 1734, depending on when it was published or revised. 5723, which would be 3,700. Alright. Somewhere around here. Or no. So 1723 at that time, if you would take 1700 off this, 1723 off this, you get back to about creation, about this time, about Adam, 4,000. Yes, indeed. But we want to be Hebrews. This is Freemasons. Prince Hall had a Hebrew headlock on his head. You better believe it. When was Prince Hall born? Where was he born? Jews and the Caribbean. Take that headlock, boy, and go to Washington, D.C. This man's got a headlock on his head as well. He might be a sellout. Oh, look at his background. And he's a Freemason. That headlock is on tight. That's probably how the Jews looked when they came through invading Africa. Before 1825, some brothers turned to Masonry. 1822, John W. Prout from Philly. 1797, Masonic Lodge. First Black Church in Philly, AME. Historic African Meeting House. Government, head of, it wasn't DC, it was Philly. Prince Hall Masons. Massachusetts. Government. Church. Masonry and Church. Philly. Yep, letters to Prince Hall. Freemasons. Church, Freemasons, believe in creation. It was 4,000 years before the Common Era. Same time plague was spreading from Ukraine. That's that headlock. Abraham Lincoln was trying to send black people to Panama. He didn't want a revolution. He didn't care about freeing the slaves. He just wanted to get them away before they revolted, because they was getting free and getting rebellious. Panama Plan, look it up. There will be no African Americans in this country. We look at him like he's some type of, somebody tried to tell me Lincoln was black. I wasn't talking about land back. His granddad got killed by Native Americans. Probably hated Native Americans. DC, landing places for the black elite, mulatto sellouts. Probably a lot of Freemasons. And their wives. Given their freedom by their fathers. What? Yeah. Across the board is that in the early days. Yes, sir. Yeah, big money. Capital Savings Bank. Big money. Don't look too black to me, but alright, he looked black right there. There's one black man in that picture right there. He looks black to me. This man right here. But if any of these dudes right here called you nigga, you was not finna go for it. I mean, I can't really tell with him. He kind of looked like me, I can't lie. But this man, hell no. This man, I mean, they might not have just been able to paint. But this one right here, brown. The rest of them, Freemasons, nah. Pause that and read that one. Mm-hmm. Kill the natives. Get their people in. Different cultures, religions, it don't matter. It's same people. Arabs. That's that headlock right there. Shriners, headlock. Egyptian Arabic Shriners in a headlock. Yup. And y'all don't do nothing. Talk about Jesus marching the street. Growth and development. Y'all can pause that one and read that one on your own. Reject black church theology. They're false. Nation of Islam's false. There's no God, no problem. Every time we try to get to the right thing, like Elijah Muhammad, they try to get us off on some dumb shit. Yup. Pause that one and look at that one. Church. Gang shit. Freemasonry, church, and gang shit. Prison is Hebrew college. That's where them stars come from. Hebrew college. Noble Drew Ali. Fard Muhammad. He was from the Middle East somewhere. Fard Muhammad from the Middle East. Moorish Zionist Temple, 1920. So we got out of slavery, and they had traps set telling us we're Hebrews and this and that. They used to have named slaves Pharaoh and Caesar as a joke. Miseducation. Look at them. Yeah. You gotta go back and pause that. I can't because my video might be too long. It's just all a joke. They laughing at us. They got us in the bag. Shaking us up with glitter. Shaking us up with glitter and gold. Silver and gold. Yes, indeed. Laughing at us, filming it, making money off it. It's just a joke. BPM is run by Christians though. Headlock Hebrews running the show. Unfortunately. It's a trap, alright. Right on your head. Haile Selassie. Ball and chain. I agree. Look at him. Palestinian. Jew. He sold out. All them third eyes y'all swear y'all got. All them eyes. Getting distracted. No real history. They probably talk shit about Africans, same way y'all do. Fifi get the line. African booty scratcher. Yep, that's just funny, right? Y'all go to church every Sunday, right? If y'all want that to be black, okay. Y'all get bombed like Palestine. Bombed like Gaza. Pause that one and read it. Pause that one and read it. I agree. That shit's real. That's Kanye. That's not even Kanye. Kanye. The headlock is real. Biggest party of Americans to go to Ireland was a predominantly black football team. It might not be predominantly black, but black head coach. Still ironic. They don't want us to talk about slavery in Africa. They want us to think Africans enslaved themselves. They want us to think Islam is going to help us. Islam believes in Noah's Ark in Ukraine just like Judaism and Christianity. All three of them religions and the Vedic religions are based and rooted in exploiting African people. Mhm. 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 Hmm. 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 Pause that one and read it. Mhm. And we think we're Hebrews now. Alright? We think we're Hebrews. We swear we're Hebrews and Jesus was black. After they done swept through Egypt and busted our ass. Look at that. It's the headlock. That's how they got us. Elevate the sellouts. On stolen land. The audacity. Wetbacks. On stolen land. And then call them wetbacks. The true wetbacks came across the ocean spreading plague, but I mean, hey. Hell no. I don't even know the gossip. I don't even care. Real history. That's what they say. Usury. It's the atheists, remember? Ghetto. I don't understand. Look at that. Does that look ghetto to you? Okay. Yeah, pause that on your own and look at that. Tell me that looks ghetto to you. No, that's not ghetto at all. Nothing ghetto about that. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm anti-Noic. Because I actually know shit. What a coincidence. Jesus won't inspire people to put the work in. For some reason, won't make a timeline. Won't. For some reason, only God knows. Only Pastor and God knows. Duh. Mm-hmm. Bombs over Gaza. Uh-huh. Pause that. Y'all probably read that already. Uh-huh. Is that steel? Yep. Shark. Mm-hmm. Do-do-do. Mm-hmm. The existence of God and man. This one here. That's a great conversation. Mm-hmm. She has a beautiful mind. So does he. Man, that was a great conversation. I'll look that one up and watch that. Mm. Believe in Jesus. I agree. I agree. I agree. Read. Make a timeline. You got Wi-Fi, no excuse. Anytime. Black militant. Nothing better than Jesus. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Okay. Uh, you don't understand history. Uh-huh. We made them ours. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Passing the problem down to kids. Mm-mm-mm. Gotta give them the answers. Pass down the problem. Give them the answers. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Matt's athletic career didn't pan out. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. One word. Brand. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. That's what they did to us. Shrunk our heads just like that. Fit that Hebrew headlock on there. And then add water. Mm-mm. Skipped a lot of meals. Took a lot of notes. Stimuli was the truth. Sometimes Jesus just doesn't do it for you. No purpose. Plague. Leprosy. Twice as high. COVID-19. What do you know? Related to Neanderthal ancestry. Nobel Prize. Mm-hmm. Nobel Prize. What do you know? I wonder what part God played in that. Jesus. That's how they get us. But the pastor lied to us. Mm-hmm. Over years and years, we were their experiments. Psychological, sexual, genetic experiments. No God, no problem. Started 5,000 years ago. Mm-hmm. Pause that. Watch that a couple times. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We think we they want us to think that Christianity is our fault. They want us to think that we come from Noah.